Good morning and good day to all audience and viewer from Masa University Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome to the webinar conducted by Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology of Masa University. My name is Siti Shahira, a lecturer from Masa University, and I will be serving as your moderator today. Today, we'll be hearing a presentation from Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Iman Farshi. Dr. Iman has more than 20 years working experience as a civil and geotechnical engineer. Dr. Iman obtained his degree in civil engineering from the University of Esteban, Shiraz, Iran. His master education was conducted under the directions of Professor Dr. Nazri bin Ali at University Technology of Malaysia, UTM, where he studied the effects of vegetation on slope stabilization. His PhD dissertation was supervised by Professor Claudia Di Prisco, Professor Adria Galli, and Professor Francesco Calvesi at Politecnico di Milano, University Technology of Milan, Italy, in the research field of soil foundation interaction, and he was awarded a PhD scholarship to conduct his studies. His research area is focusing on suitable and green technology soil stabilization methods and soil foundation interaction by applying various methods such as macro element. Currently, he is working as a Dean of Built Environment and IT at University Malaysia campus in association with Anglia Ruskin University and University of East London. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Iman Farshi, who will be speaking to us with topic the critical role of the engineers and construction industry in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. All right, Dr. Iman, the floor is yours.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for briefing. I'm Dr. Ima, Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and IT, Massa University. So today I'm going to discuss about sustainable development goals and also what is the role of engineers and especially construction industry to make sure that we achieve these goals. I'm choosing this topic because in our faculty and Master University, basically we really focus on the projects related to SDGs and various projects is going on. Especially we have a huge projects going on, which we call it so-called Eco Village. That all our projects are related somehow to green technology or area 4.0, which is all can be following the SDGs goals. So basically, first I want to discuss what are SDGs. I will introduce briefly what are SDGs, the 17 SDG goals that we have, and what is the engineers and building environment construction industry basically role to make sure that we achieve these goals. So when we talk about sustainable development goals, are a set of 17 global goals that adopted by all United Nations members stated in 2015 to be achieved by 2030 agenda for sustainable development. Basically, these goals are to address a range of global challenges and issues, including poverty, hunger, health, education, gender equality, clean water, and sustainable world to make sure that everyone achieve these goals, particularly by 2030. So, sustainable development goals are a set of global objectives aimed at addressing the most pressing social, economic, and environmental challenge facing our planet, and particularly for construction industry as a major contributor to resource consumption and also environmental degradation plays a crucial role to achieving these goals. So that's why very important to understand what is the objective of our goals and how we can strategize our construction industry to make sure that we achieve our goals. Why? Because construction industry are the major contributor because we have the major resource consumption and also environmental development. Sustainable development goals are aimed to promote prosperity while protecting the planet. So, of course, we keep developing and developing. If we don't have this framework, we cannot ensure that our planet sustained for another few years. And they provide a framework for countries and organizations and individuals to work together toward a more sustainable and equitable future. So through an analysis of these sustainable goals, we can a strategy to make sure that these sustainable goals are following the construction industry's plan to make sure everything's achievable. So basically, at the first stage, we want to see what are the 17 sustainable goals, and then we will define which one of these sustainable goals is are more related to construction industry. So, if I want to introduce one by one, very briefly, our sustainable development goals, the first one is no poverty. We hope that by these goals and by 2030 and onwards, we plan as such that end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Second, zero hunger and end hunger, achieve food security, especially food security, and introduce sustainable agriculture. Especially this agriculture, we keep growing and growing, and we use so much foods that it is very crucial for us. But how this agriculture can be sustainable for many years? SDG 3, good health and well-being for all ages. SDG 4, equality education, which is inclusive, there's equality of education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, no matter from which gender and which area of that. So when we talk about gender, we talk about SDG 5, gender equality, achieve gender equality and empower all, especially focusing on the empowering all women and girls. SDG 6, talking about clean water and sanitation, which is ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. SDG 7, talk about affordable and clean energy. This is one of the most related to construction industry to provide clean energy and affordable, sustainable and modern energy for us. SDG number 8, talking about decent work and economic growth, which is promote sustainable, inclusive economic, which is full and productive employment and decent work for all. Number 9 is talking about industry, innovation, and infrastructure. This is also one of the stages which is related to construction industry to promote sustainable and modern and resilient infrastructure. Reduce inequalities, which is reduce equality and among countries. SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. This is also very important in construction industry to have a safe, resilient, and sustainable environment. SDG number 12, talking about responsible consumption and production, which is ensure sustainable consumption and production pattern, and is equalities, which is being highlighted by the picture at the below. It's very important to make sure that all SDGs achieve the goals. Finally, SDG number 3 to 17 are talking about climate action, life below water, which is very important to save our oceans, seas, marine life, which is nowadays also many research is going on to save the marine life and the life underwater. And on the other hand, SDG number 15, life on the land, which is we have to save our resources, land, and how to use the land, especially forests and the jungles and so on. SDG number 16, we talk about peace, justice, and strong institutions. And number 17, finally, partnership for goals. So everyone must put the hand together to make sure these goals achieved based on our target. So 17 sustainable development goals totals have around 169 targets, which is all about equalities, water, health, education, and the main pillars of the sustainable development goals we can mention about social, human, economic, and environmental. So these are the main pillars that it is defined 17 SDGs, basically total 169 goals. So now it's a start our main discussion. How engineer and building construction industry can play a role in sustainability. So these pictures here is showing a very, very meaningful definition of this. Nowadays we have a huge cities full of buildings, full of constructions, which actually we forgot how the green area is there. So now our roles, engineer roles, and the building construction industry is very important to make sure that we achieve our sustainability and we save our planet for our future generation. So, what are exactly this SDGs, which is related to construction industry? So, in that case, we talk about SDG number 7, number 9, number 11, number 12, and number 13, which is all about the innovation industry, infrastructure, clean energy, sustainable cities, and climate action. So let's talk about one by one in more detail. Sustainable SDG number 7, affordable and clean energy. So it's very important to produce clean energy and reduce the total cost effective and standard wider range of technologies to make sure that we have a very more cost effective and efficiencies energy usage. For example, the first one that we can define energy efficient construction. So we have to design and we apply the technology, especially by using high efficiency HVAC, I mean heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system to make sure that we have energy efficient productions and also design. Also, energy efficient lighting is very important to make sure that our projects can prioritize energy efficient design. After that, we talk about renewable energy integration. So nowadays we apply many solar energy, wind power, which is the best solution. So all our design in the construction, we really need to study more how to apply more solar power, wind powers, wind turbines, which is actually many countries already started. We can mention about Denmark, which is they are planning to make sure that 100% of their energy come from wind turbines. Even in NASA in Malaysia, we are working on the very efficiently on the solar powers and so on, which is really helpful for SDG goals. Green building certification. So in that case, many organizations work to achieve by providing certification and some standards to make sure that we following SDG. For example, in Malaysia, we have Green Building Index, or overall we have this leadership in energy and environmental design. We do have research establishment, environmental assessment method, and so on. So let's talk a bit about GBI, which is actually in NASA also. We are glad to somehow in education wise, we are collaborating with them and we make sure our syllabus in line with GBI. So GBI certification to make sure our buildings are following the sustainable goals. So I'm very glad to inform the latest information from GBI that so far in Malaysia itself, 300 million square feet of green buildings national wides are certified basically. So total 1,176 registered projects and 671 already received GBI certification, which is very, very good numbers. And I will really congratulate GBI teams that work very hard to achieve these SDG goals. So these projects basically it's helped to reduce more than 1 million tons of CO2 equivalents basically in the daily basis. Then we have energy efficient materials. So it's very important in our construction we use the material which is energy efficient. For example, in Malaysia and in Asian countries, they are very common to use bamboo structure, which is very natural, very powerful structure, and it is very good. And this bamboo structure in mass also, we do research on that. We do have green concrete by using various material, very common one. We can use fly ash, bottom ash, palm husk ash, and so on, which is actually in NASA also we do research on that. Green pavement, actually we are various green pavement project is going on, especially in Malaysia, for example, by using the recycled plastics. And one project that our researcher in mass are doing very nicely, they use the recycled mask to use the for green pavement, which is actually very interesting. So this project all going on in SDG goals. A smart building technology is very important nowadays. We have automation and controls. By using IoT nowadays, you can control the humidity, you can control the temperature, control the light. So it's very important in our construction industry. We use this kind of technology and automation to make sure that we have optimization of energy usage to improve overall efficiencies in building. Still in SDG 7, we're talking about energy efficiency transportation. So one of the project now in Massa is going on, it's making the solar car. So nowadays you can see the usage of the solar cars, the or electric cars in worldwide is really common nowadays, which is actually good news. Of course, there are some more research need to do for electric cars, but now the solar cars, the cars that they use the energy efficiency and green energies, it's very nice and it is improving as much as possible. SDG 7, again, affordable and clean energy. So we have waste management. Nowadays, also another project is going on worldwide, which is how to convert the waste, basically how to control the waste and how to convert the waste to introducing and producing energy, which is actually, this is the cycling of energy, which is part of SDG 7. So now we move to another SDG, innovation and industry, innovation and infrastructure. To build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable, industrialized and foster innovation. So first we're talking transportation, energy, water, which is nowadays we talk about infrastructure development. So any kind of infrastructure development, especially various type of roads, highways, and infrastructure for the water, airports, energy facilities, all is part of infrastructure development as part of SDG 9. Innovative construction method. So nowadays, to control the construction method in innovative ways, it's very important to apply technology. For example, one of the great technologies that recently I visited, and in NASA also be focusing on this technology a lot, it is 3D printer. And especially very nicely for 3D printer in construction. So 3D printer in construction, one of the advantage that I'm really enjoying to see, it is controlling the waste. So by using this technology, we have minimum waste. Minimum waste and our design are very accurate. So this 3D printer is one of the example to apply advanced technologies for construction industry. Now we're talking about the climate resilient designs and also smart cities. So it's, of course, we're talking about the construction sector that can prioritize resilient building design and infrastructure that can stand against natural disaster and extreme weather events. So one great example that I can mention is about Kampong Admiralty in Singapore, which is amazing projects full of jungle, and also in this case smart cities. We can mention about Masdar City in United Arabs, which is smart cities, resilient cities, and so on. We talk about sustainable design, zero carbon, and green space. So this kind of new buildings, especially in a country like Singapore, so we really need more areas. So to have lack of areas, they make vertical jungles and green areas, which is very, very smart ideas. So please see these projects such as this Kampong Admiralty in Singapore or Masdar City in United Arabs. They are amazing example of the part of SDGs, sustainable urban development and smart cities. Then we talk about affordable housing initiatives. So this initiative of affordable house is start from the design, material, the lands, and also how the energy usage to make sure that we have minimum misuse of our material. For example, we can use solar energy. We can have a water harvesting, amazing project nowadays for water harvesting, and we can use all the current resources, natural resources, to develop our housing area. Now we move to the SDG 11, which is very related to construction industry, sustainable cities and communities. So sustainable SDG 11 aim to renew and plan cities and other human settlement in a way that offers opportunities for all, with access to basic services, energy, housing, transportation, and green public spaces, while reducing resources use and environmental impact. So in that case, we can mention about compact and inclusive cities. So in cities that everything accessible, especially by public transport, or the green areas, green energy, and also transportation well designed. So this becomes the definition of compact and inclusive cities. We have adaptation to climate change. So nowadays you can see too many rainings, especially now we have currently at the current situation in Malaysia, many rainings and also many areas affected by flooding. So how to control that? This is a good idea, but let me a bit jump to the challenges that we have. So any new technologies also that we use, there are some say challenges that we face. For example, making a dam, it's very useful to make sure control the flooding, control the water, and use the water in the correct way. However, this also can have environmental impact. For example, the Great George Dam in China, which is one of the greatest projects in history, which can produce 22.5 gigawatt electricity, control the flooding, and it is amazing project. However, we really need to see this great project, what is the impact on the environment, on the animals, on the social impact. So this is very important projects. Then sustainable element continue. We have to have public spaces, which is increase the quality of life. This is very important. We just talked also about circular economy, which is how to control the waste and how to use the resources correctly to make sure this cycle is continuous and sustainable and we save the planet for our future. Then now we move to SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, which is we make sure that we save our planet by using the available resources. So sustainable supply chain, we just discussed. Environmental impact, how to make sure that environmental impact correctly used, using various projects. For example, in this picture, it's related somehow, which is we can use the water harvesting. Efficient project management. In that case, we can talk about building information modeling. And in fact, I'm really happy that we can say in mass also for our architecture technology program particularly, we really apply in each and every aspect of our teaching BIM application, building information modeling, which is advanced technology application, software application for our construction projects, which is enhance project efficiency. It is significantly reduce material wastage and improve collaboration among stakeholders. So we by BIM we can design each and every of our project, which we significantly control the base and also increase the management by having various parties to come and it is control our projects fantastically. So nowadays BIM application is huge in construction industry. Finally, we have climate action, SDG number 3. So it is by controlling greenhouses, also give the knowledge to the people, which is actually by this statistics that I put here. Luckily, I can really mention that it is improved. Knowledge improved, controlling the greenhouses is really improved. It's working. Every sectors are working on that, but definitely it needs more attention. We have energy efficient building design, which already discussed about various projects which we can control and reduce carbon footprints. And resilient construction, cities. This is part of the SDG 13. So to end my presentation, I want to have a very nice case study in India, which is this is fantastic case study and example that they do in Indian schools to control the correct energy, to control the material that available in environment without harming the environment, without having the negative impact. So please watch this short video and then we will close our presentation. This is how an Indian school built in the desert still keeps its students cool. This is the Rajkumari Ranavati Girls' School located in Jaisalmer that helps empower and educate nearly 400 girls aged between 5 and 16 in rural India. The shape and position of the building helps catch the wind, which is then funneled into the school, helping cool the temperature. The classrooms have high ceilings, allowing heat to rise and leave out small windows that help reduce the heat in the classrooms to 20 to 30 Fahrenheit cooler. Inspired by ancient water harvesting techniques, the roof and courtyard collect water from monsoon. Sorry, the video stopped. This is how it into the school, helping cool the temperature. The classrooms have high ceilings, allowing heat to rise and leave out small windows that help reduce the heat in the classrooms to 20 to 30 Fahrenheit cooler. Inspired by ancient water harvesting techniques, the roof and courtyard collect water from monsoons that can be used at a later date. Solar panels on the roof provide electricity for lighting and fans, and also serves as a shaded canopy area for children to play in below. The designers were so keen to minimize the impact of the building, they moved the entire thing when they realized it would destroy two small trees, which are now beautifully integrated into the courtyard. The region has one of the lowest literacy rates in India, especially among girls, but schools like this can help provide them with a safe, accessible place to learn and feel empowered. Would you like to see more sustainable projects like this? Hit the like button if you would, and drop any suggestions you have. Okay, so it was a great example how we can use the green technology, how we can use the current material to make sure that we have to use natural resources to save our planet. So this is the end of my presentation. Hope by this brief of the SDGs and how the construction role is there, we can have more awareness. And especially I would tell that luckily in Massa, we are happy that we can start many projects like solar car, green pavement, green concrete, and so on to make sure that we are part of this big project. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed that today discussion. Please let me know if you have any question. I'll try to answer as much as possible. Thank you so much and have a nice day, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Imran Prashid, for your valuable sharing. Now we have come to the question and answer session. So we have received few questions from the floors. So the first question is, what is the most challenges do you find in implementing the SDGs in education field?
Okay, in education, basically, yeah, I mean, it is, I mean, applying any new technology, any green technology in education is always challenging to apply new because uh, we are from the generation, most of the lectures, past generation, how to move forward to the new generations. It is challenging. But however, the most luckily nowadays, I can see that ministry itself and many university itself already apply new projects, and it is not very difficult to apply. For example, as I mentioned in Massa, we already start to making our solar car. We already start making apply the projects in case of the green technology, green concrete, IoT application to control the temperature and so on. So the most challenging, if I want to tell about that, how to make sure that our government and our policymakers and our fundings are supporting for these projects, which actually, again, I can say, luckily, most of these organizations are start to supply with the various funding, grant fundings to make sure that this project is started and we can aware our students on these projects.
Okay, and the second question, I think this is the last question. So, how does sustainable development make economic sense for society, especially for poor country?
Okay, very good question. In fact, just now my video in India, which is part of the poor part of India, which they use the natural resources. And also another project nowadays, especially I know in Malaysia, is going on with affordable houses. So you have a luxury big houses, big building in the cities with a very expensive construction. But now, however, in the rural areas and the areas that we really follow in this construction, we can use the local material. First of all, to have a sustainable material. For example, I can mention to use bamboo structure for our buildings construction, which is really cost effective and also very sustainable material. Or also, another hand, beside the construction, as I mentioned about sustainable and affordable houses, we can use this energy efficiencies and new green technology for energy as well. For example, wind turbines and wind, it's a free gift from God, or the solars. If we can everything, we can use solar energy. Or for example, if we can develop the water harvesting. So the water harvesting, definitely, it is very, very great technologies that we can get the clean water from the rain. So by applying this kind of technologies and think about what we want to make and save our planet for future, definitely it is more affordable as well. Not only green, also more affordable.
Okay, thank you for the clear explanation. So I guess we have come to the end part of the presentation. Thank you once again, Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Imam Farshi, for addressing this interesting topic and for this sharing session. Hopefully, the presentation was beneficial for everyone. On behalf of Masa University, we would like to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your time and cooperation. Hope to see you in the next webinar. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.